Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Eric with American Business Systems. I am excited to spend the afternoon with you. We're going to talk about learn the secrets of strategic marketing in medical billing. So you are at the right webinar today. We're going to talk about some marketing aspects based upon what we talked about last week with Dr. Vicki Ragnar. So we're going to expand that out this week. So I'm looking forward to visiting with you this afternoon. Let me see if I open up my attendees list over here. I'm going to push it to the side, and then I'm going to grab my Q&A box and push it over to the other side so that we can communicate. Looking forward to spending, like I said, the next 30 to 40 minutes with you. I hope you're doing well on this Wednesday afternoon. I'm going to share a little video here. As I mentioned earlier, we had a discussion with Dr. Vicki Ragnar. She's got a little intro webinar, I mean, it's not a webinar, a little intro video. Some of you may have seen it, some of you may have never seen it, but I thought I'd share it today, this afternoon, just so that you can hear her, because I actually want to refer again back to the webinar that I did with her last week. So I hope I'm coming through on my microphone okay. So if you don't mind, I'm going to just go ahead and put up this next slide up here. That if you don't mind, just type something in the Q&A box, just to make sure I'm being heard. I'd like for you to just tell me where do you live, what area of the country that you're in, and it's always good to kind of keep up with everybody. Okay. Shirag, it says, yes, sounds good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate you popping in there. And if you don't mind, again, if I can get everybody else, we got some other folks. Williams on here, Michael's on here, Lynn, Alicia. Good to see Charles. Good to see everybody on here this afternoon. So again, put some here from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you. Appreciate that. Got some more folks coming in. So let's see who this is. Shireen. Good to see you again. If you everybody, Isha, good to see you. Thank you from North Carolina. Very good. I appreciate everybody popping in here. Folks, again, I'm going to go back over here. What we're going to talk about today is the marketing aspect of this business. We're going to look at it from a completely different viewpoint today. So I hope that you're going to be taking some notes. I'm going to give you a little insight on some of the strategic things that we actually end up doing for marketing. And this is where you're going to decide whether this is right for you or not. Best you learn it now, because I think it's from the approach that we're going to be talking about today, you're going to understand why I think this is one of the easiest ways to get the word out about your business and who you are, and then gain those doctors to become your partners as well. So we got some more folks that have popped in here, so I'm going to give it just a couple more minutes here before we actually get started. While I'm kind of waiting on everybody, I'm going to go ahead and go through a little introduction of who we are. My name's Eric Auger. I'll be your host this afternoon. Hopefully, some of you gotten to know me over the last few months. It's good to have you. Some of you folks, I do recall your name, but some of you are brand new. So I appreciate you joining us this afternoon. Hope the year is clicking right along for you. Folks, if you can believe this, we're about 3 days from the middle part of February. Hope that for some of you, you've got your Valentine's already laid out for this Friday, so don't forget that. But anyway, we obviously we love to have a good time with you on these Wednesday webinars. I don't know about you, but I've attended some webinars in the past, and gosh, they just feel to be so either they're way over the top, or they are just boring as all get out. So, all right. Isha's birthday's on the 15th, so happy early birthday there in North Carolina. Hope your day, that'll be on Saturday, so I hope you have a wonderful weekend. As I mentioned to you, let me share this real quickly with you. If you were on the webinar last week, you know and recognize Dr. Vicki Ragnar. She is the author of the book called The Myth of the Rich Doctor. And the reason that's said that like that is because she was formerly a general surgeon. So she is a doctor talking to other doctors. This is a great book to get a hold of. You can get it on Amazon, but I'm going to do a favor for you today. I didn't do this last week, but I'm going to do it for you this week. But if you'd like to get a copy of this book, hang on. At the end of the webinar, I'm going to tell you how to get a copy of this book. So everybody that kind of stays on with me to the end of the webinar this afternoon, I'm going to show you how to get a copy of this. But listen to this little video from Dr. Rackner, and then we'll get started here.
Congratulations for finding the American Business Systems site. You're probably looking for a great business opportunity, and you have found one. I'm Dr. Vicki Rackner. I call in my experience as a practicing surgeon and entrepreneur to help doctors thrive. What I can tell you is that while doctors are smart people, they don't have a great business savvy. So the services that ABS offers can literally help doctors turn their practices and their lives around. This is a viable, growing market. Not only that, Patrick Phillips and Adam Phillips have a true commitment to the success of the people who join the ABS family. I think you can't go wrong here.
I appreciate Dr. Rackner sharing that and sending that to us. It is a privilege for us to be able to spend the afternoon with you and then get to know you. Hopefully, you've already met some of our team members already here at American Business Systems. Let me introduce you to our CEO. It's Adam Phillips. Adam has been in this business from a time that he was a teenager. Adam's mom and dad started this well over 30 years ago. They actually started, his mom was actually doing medical billing just by chance. Just to tell you the quick story, Linda Phillips is his mom, and they were a homeschool family, and those were the days when homeschooling wasn't too cool, but it seems to be now. But they were always looking for a little extra income. Patrick was out there hammering it out, and but a doctor friend of theirs had lost their medical biller, and he inquired to Linda to say, "Hey, would you like to have a little side job? And I need for someone to process my medical claims." Well, lo and behold, what happened is that Patrick came along and saw that, and he says, "Wow, okay, if we can do this for this one, we can do it for somebody else." And he started going out there and getting other clients and other doctor clients. Well, other people started to find out that they were doing pretty well. And the next thing he knew is that he wanted to pay it forward. That's the kind of family that the Phillips family is always paying it forward. And so what they did, they created this business opportunity, not a franchise, but a business opportunity to teach and train you and support you in this whole area of owning your own business in medical billing. And so Adam took over CEO a few years back, probably 5 or 6 years ago, doing a splendid job. And I love some of the things the innovative things that he's brought on for us here at ABS, and his leadership and his vision of where this is going. So Adam, some of you may be talking to Adam. But he is also an author. He has written some books and actually co-authored this book with Dr. Rackner, 9 Ways Doctors Let Money Slip Through Their Fingers. He has been a featured writer for Billing and Coding Advantage magazine. He wrote an article on will the advancement in artificial intelligence take over my job as a medical biller? I'm sure that is a question that some of you may have. But if you'd like to get a copy of this, again, I'm going to share with you how you can do that. He is also the founder of an organization called MERMA. That is the Medical Revenue Management Association of America. This is actually the organization that you will be a part of once you've completed our training, and they are the ones that will certify you as a certified medical revenue manager. So those are some great organizations to be a part of. You can go check out merma.org. And then obviously you can ask your sales rep here at American Business Systems all about it. Now, this is about you and me today and talking with you about marketing in medical billing. Now, I am coming to you as also as a business owner here at American Business Systems. I have had the privilege of owning a couple of medical billing companies. I've started one with, I remember when Patrick and I did this a long time ago, we wanted to take every marketing campaign that we had here and test it and try it and make sure that it was working. Now, we knew that it was working with some of our business owners out there already, but we again wanted to make sure that we could do it. So that's where I kind of got my kick into it, and then actually went on my own and started my own medical billing company through American Business Systems. Did the same strategic marketings and got my first two clients probably within the first 6 months of me getting started there. So I'm not coming to you as a theory. I'm actually coming to you as hands-on. We've done this. I've had the people tell me no, they don't want to talk with me at this point. So I have felt what you might think as rejections, and I never felt them as rejections. It was just at their time at that point. And the reason I say that is because there was one doctor in particular that we were marketing to that said no, not no. Actually, he was going to go with somebody else. And one of the campaigns that we have here, one of the system functions that we have here is a creative way to stay in front of your potential clients. And that is through a system called AutoCard. And so what we did, there's a way in which you can start a what we call a kind of a drip marketing campaign, to where that particular person that I targeted, I kept sending them every 6 weeks some information about our company. Finally, they called me up and they said, "Hey, the doctor would like to meet with you. Matter of fact, he'd like to take you to dinner to his country club." So I said, "Okay." I thought that was a good thing. And then so that night we talked about what we do and shared some of they actually shared why they went with another company, but they wanted to come with us. And one of the biggest things that they said is that your the way in which you continued marketing to us uh, was not overbearing, but it was very professional and on an executive level. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be. This is how I'm going to be approaching to you this afternoon. So, for the time that we've got this afternoon, let me remind you that in the area where many of you put that you told me where you live. Not everybody did. So and some of those folks are on here. Haddam, if you're there, Janine, looks like some other folks, Ratish, Shireen. Again, if you want to put in there in the Q&A box where you live, you don't have to do it now. I just want to make sure that we were being heard and you know at least where the Q&A box is, because typically during the webinars, I want to give you an opportunity to ask me questions very specifically about the topic of today. So if there's some things that I say and you may not be clear or you've got some concerns about it, shoot me a text over there and I'd love to, or a question. So as I mentioned to you, I want you to think of this business, and a lot of you are coming into this obviously trying to think, okay, I want to start a business. I want something that can sustain me and maybe even my family and get really confident in what I'm doing. And so a lot of you are probably thinking of it, gosh, how am I going to learn billing? How am I going to learn the codes? How am I going to do this, and this, and also get a doctor in the meantime? So let's put all the coding, all the medical billing part of it aside for a moment, because I want to talk to you as though I'm talking to a group of executives, because really that's what you're coming in as. You're coming in as an executive of a medical billing company. Better said, you're an executive of a revenue cycle management company. Because you got to understand, once you get the first and second client, you may be doing some billing in the beginning, but your site should be on, I want to bring other people into the business so that I can stay at that C-level C-suite level with the doctors and remain at that level so that you become known within your community as the go-to person for revenue cycle management solutions. Okay. Janine, Pennsylvania. Ratish is from San Diego. Haddam is from Cypress in Houston. I know exactly where that is. So Shireen's from New Jersey. So good. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. All right. So let's get started. And again, if you want to take notes, you can. If you'd like to get the slide deck to this, again, I'm going to share with you how you can get that. But I thought of three executive marketing strategies for medical billing. Now, folks, this is not an exhaustive list. These are some of the ones that if I were in your shoes, this is what I would at least want to be hearing on this particular webinar today. So the first thing is you need to have an executive presence. And I think this is where a lot of people, again, kind of sell themselves short on getting involved with medical billing because you think of yourself, oh, I'm going to be like that person in the doctor's office doing medical claims. Okay, so get what I'm trying to say here. I don't want you to feel like you're becoming an employee. You've got to understand that you are the owner of a business. Now, obviously, owners do work. Okay. Not only do they do the marketing and they do everything else, but sometimes they're actually processing claims, especially here in the beginning. So, but let's put our executive caps on, our dress. Let's go out and let's go together and do this. The first thing that you really do need to have and create is really an executive style of a website. Now, I'm going to share with you the way that our websites look, because when you become part of the ABS family, you're actually going to get a website that's not just a cookie cutter type of website. It's very professional, very high end. It's going to highlight your services, your credentials, and your expertise. That's what we like to do here, and that's where the partnership with somebody like a Dr. Vicki Rackner will actually help you with those two last things, your credentials and your expertise. Now, ABS has all the services that you're going to need, because what you need to make sure is that you can go out there and challenge other medical billing companies right off the bat. And with the services that you come with, you already have a leg up on everything else and everybody else out there. But one of the things you need to make sure that you have is a good type of website. And we are going to provide that for you. And I'm going to show a couple of examples of that. Number two, develop content addressing common billing challenges and solutions. So now one of the things that I want to discuss with you is obviously with everything that we end up doing, you need to have some type of value proposition. What does that value proposition look like? Because executives have value propositions. One of them is that typically out there in the revenue cycle world, doctors are not able to collect anywhere from 20 to 25 up to 30% of their revenues on a given month. We're able to, through our systems and through our training that we have for not only for us and our team, but for your staff too as well, doctor, is that we can actually execute and reduce those rejections down from 20, 25, 30% down to less than 5%. And many times we'll end up targeting anything less than 2%. So what that means is that you're actually giving the doctor an opportunity to get what you're trying to say. Because number one, they're already experiencing rejection rates of well in the double figures already. Whether it's 10%, 15%, 20%, they're probably there already. If you can get things down into single digits, they're listening to you. So you've got a value proposition already. So we're going to help you develop content, not only content that's going to be in print, but content that you're going to speak about when you're out there doing some of the things I'm going to share with you here in a moment. Okay. And then lastly, you're going to optimize your lead magnets profile to reach decision makers. Now, this is the biggest area of where, that's going to be difficult. Most of you might think it's difficult. How am I going to get to the decision makers? Now, I'm going to share some secrets with you of how we're going to do that, and I'm going to address these through the webinar today. But this is what it means to have an executive presence, because it's almost having an executive mindset going in it from the day that you're here on the webinar. If you don't have this today, let me help walk you along and kind of get you up to that, because you got to think of it now. If I'm going to invest $30,000 into this business, I'm not investing $30,000 necessarily into ABS. I'm investing $30,000 into myself. ABS is just the vehicle in which I'm investing in. It's the same thing if you buying a car. You're going to take money and you're going to go invest it in a vehicle. Some are there are a lot of them out there that have wheels and engines and brakes and everything else that maybe not all the way up to $30,000, but everybody knows to get a decent vehicle nowadays, you're going to spend anywhere from 25, 30 to $40,000 for an automobile. And that's just to get you down from one place to the other. This is all this is. Now, the great thing about it is that we've actually remained at that $30,000 mark for quite some time. And that is for us to help other people just like yourself get started into medical billing and to start creating this executive presence within your life and what you kind of start doing, because all the different things that we have, all the different services, whether it's iClaim or EMRX, or like I mentioned earlier, the auto card program, or any of the other services, coding services, as you'll see here, all of those different services, and even additional services that will come in after you become a business owner here at American Business Systems. We remain really competitive out there whenever you can think about that with one client, you can actually get your return on investment, because typically one client's going to produce anywhere from an average of $40,000 to $50,000 in revenue in 1 year. So once we helped you get that first client, you know that you're going to get your return on investment. Plus, after that, your second to third one comes along pretty quickly. So then now you're, what you consider to be kind of in the black, and you're well on your way. And that's why a lot of business owners or executives of these business owners or these businesses in medical billing usually end up trying to get more clients, and then they've got staff that are actually doing the billing. Okay, so and that's what happened with me. I actually had some other folks doing the billing because I enjoyed doing the front end. I enjoyed having the freedom where wasn't felt like I was stuck in my office all day, processing claims and I managed it. I want to make sure it was all being done correctly. But I enjoyed being out there, meeting new folks, meeting new doctors, just being out there, and you can tell I love to educate. So that's part of one of the things I always love doing. So that's one of the things that we're going to help create with you. Now, here's your medical billing website. So there's several different to choose from. We've got different designs, different color schemes. Yes, we can add some different things to it, but one of the biggest things we're going to add to it is your logo, your content information, your phone number, your email address. The form will actually go to your particular email address, and it won't go to us and then routed it back for you. And neither will it be like some of these you may have seen with some of the multi-level marketing business opportunities out there, where it has I'll just use absystems.com/ and then your name. That's not the way that it is here. You're actually going to have your own URL that will be your website. It's your business. It's not ABS's. It's yours. But we have all the content. We have all of the strategic things that need to go inside of your website to make it on that executive level. All right, so if you'd like to see some of these, get back with your sales rep and they will be able to share some of those with you a little bit later on. Then we have all the billing content. So if you need to make sure that you've got what I consider to be an executive level of material, this is where it comes from. So once you join us here at American Business Systems, you're actually going to get all of this content in print. It is on an 8.5 by 11 heavy stock glossy type paper. But again, what's going to happen here is that we're going to print on these your logo, your content information is all going to go in there, like you said, like what we're showing right here. So whether it's you're marketing to a doctor and they want to know a little bit more about what you do with on the billing and the electronic medical record side, then you'll be able to give them information, printed information that deal with iClaim and EMRX, as you can see up there at the left-hand corner. If the doctors want to know, if they ask you, well, uh, Michael, do you do? Michael's on here. If Michael, do you do coding, or does your if I need some coding assistance, can you guys help me with coding assistance? Yes, we have two different types of opportunities that we can help you with your coding. One's on a more preventative measures, and that's through Audit Guard. So what we would do through Audit Guard is that we're going to actually get some of the charts from the doctors, run them through our processes through with utilizing some professional coders, and then spit out a report to them to say, hey, doctor, here's some areas where you might want to change. On the other hand, if they need coding, CodeWright utilizes those same professional coders to make sure that we've got the proper codes to build for the doctors. Now, some of you may want to go outside of the medical part of it and go towards dental billing. So if you want to go down that route, we've got a dental billing platform that is, again, it's a cloud type based billing platform to be able to do that. Everything below are some ancillary services. Some of these you may have gone over with your sales rep here at American Business Systems. Going from left to right, I'm just touching on these real quickly. We got Quick Collect, Choice Pay. All of these have to deal with what you would consider your AR, your accounts receivables, things that need to be paid for, or things that are in the rears that actually need to get caught up by the patient. A couple of those there. There's AutoCard right there in the middle, because this could be actually used for the doctor's offices as well. So if the doctors want to send out real cards, not an e-card that's going to go to somebody's email and then end up in a spam folder. No, these are actually cards that are mailed out, has your signature on it, has all of your content on it. The doctors can utilize this as well. If the doctors want to send out birthday cards and as reminders of appointments that are coming up, all of this can be set up, and again, without the doctor having to spend money on cards and posting and all this, that all gets set up through there. Obviously, there's a cost to that, but it's very minimal. It's even less than what you could go purchase the card and have someone actually fill it out. It'll be less than that. Now, the other two there, Compliancy Guard and Virtual Care. Let me talk about those real quickly because these are actually vital needs right now with the doctors. Compliancy has to do with HIPAA compliancy. That's what it's all about. Especially now, since we've turned into 2025, there are some things there that doctors' offices need to make sure that they're in compliance with HIPAA, okay? And then the last one over there is the virtual care. So when doctors aren't able to have their patients come in and monitor their blood pressure or blood sugar or anything else, they can actually do that remotely through virtual care. We can actually help doctors get set up that way. There are devices that go out that record those readings and they get sent to the doctor virtually through a cell service. So these are way heavy technology type things there. Now, I've just shared a lot with you on everything that you get here plus, okay? And the reason I want to share that with you because I'm talking to a group of executives here. You've got to know what your value proposition is even through this webinar, and why would you even get started with it? And then why would a doctor even want to go do business with you, especially if you're brand new? Because what I've shown you so far puts you head and shoulders above any other medical billing company out there, simply because of the services that you can provide. Okay. All right, moving on here because I want to make sure that we have enough time. Again, here's some of the content that you can see. This is CodeWright. I've already kind of shared a little bit about that, even with Audit Guard, HIPAA compliancy. You can see that. Quick Collect. I want to get to here. And the reason I want to pause here just for a moment here is because you need a way in which you can show your that you're not just getting started. I'll put it that way. You need a leg up. You need something to show that you've got some expertise in this. And so what we've been able to do and craft here is that we've got a book here called The New Thriving Medical Practice. Now, this is a real book. It's not an ebook. Now, we do have it in ebook format, but this is excuse me, this is a real live book. Just like, well, you can't see it, but I've got bookshelves behind me. But you're going to get uh, a certain amount of these with your original purchase here at American Business Systems. So you're going to get these, but it's not going to just be with just Patrick and Dr. Rackner's name on the front of the book. Your name is actually going to go on the front of the book as the one that wrote the foreword to the book. Now, I talk about building credibility. This will get you an audience with a doctor faster than what you can even think of. Now, one of the things, if you were on the webinar last week, one of the things that Dr. Rackner said, and I'm going to repeat it as best I can. If not, you can go back and watch it. When she hired an administrator for her office, she told that administrator two things. I will not be happy with you if you let people in here who I don't want to talk to. But I will also be equally unhappy with you if you don't let somebody come through that I probably should be talking to. Can you imagine being an administrator going, okay, well, how do I know who you want to talk to and who you don't want to talk to? Okay. So one of the things that we know is that doctors listen to other doctors. That's why we want to get this book into as many doctors' hands as possible. Okay. And one of the ways that we do that is you don't have to even get out of your car and go do anything. We're actually going to show you how to get this mailed to a doctor with a confidentiality stamp on it. The doctors are going to know that there's something of value in it, and it's going to have a letter in there from Dr. Vicki Rackner introducing your company along with this book. Now, in this book, like I said, you're going to be the author of the foreword to the book. And then they're going to recognize who you are, and you're not just the biller of XYZ billing company. You are the owner of this company. That's why I've got up here, this is the executive content that you're going to need, because you're dealing with one owner of a business talking to another owner of a business. And then this is how we strategize getting you and helping you get that first client. Obviously, you can only the way that you're going to know it's going to work is obviously see it work in action. Now, one of the ways that you can find out that this works is talk with some other business owners here at American Business Systems, and I'm going to share with you how you can do that. But again, this is such an important book, part of your marketing strategy. Because remember, we're talking about executive strategies to get in front of doctors, and this is one of them, one of the best ones that we can tell you. Matter of fact, there were some folks, everybody remembers COVID. You couldn't go out and even go knock on doors, let alone going to see doctors at a luncheon or anything. A lot of our business owners here actually just utilized this strategy right here and ended up picked up more doctors in COVID as new clients than even before COVID. So we know that it works there. So now remember, we're at the bottom of the hour. So if you got any questions, give me a shout here, put it out over there. Isha's already saying nice. Okay, that was a good, it's got somebody's attention there. All right, number 2, you want to network with other executives. Now, this is not what you would think of as network, multi-level networking. This is true business to business networking with other executives. I like this because, again, number 1, it does 2 things. It showcases who I am. I get out there and people get to recognize who I am. They see me dressed professionally. They understand that I'm not just some mom and pop just trying to sit in the back of my house trying to get a business up and going. I'm out in the community, and that's what you're going to need to do. Now, some of you may think, gosh, Eric, I don't know if I can do that. Folks, it's not as difficult as you might think it is. Going into a group of other business owners, you got to remember, they're there for the same purposes and reasons that you're there. And remember, everybody's got to start somewhere. But here in 2025, we've got some new businesses that can utilize the ABS network awareness strategies that are going to help you get yourself out in front of you. So I'm going to share about 3 of these with you. Number 1 is just getting involved and figuring out where are the business people meeting? Okay. Now, over to the left is a group, an organization called BNI. That's the Business Networking International. You know that people are business owners are meeting there. Chamber of Commerce is every city and community has a chamber of commerce, and then there's some others here. But I'm going to tell you one of the great things that you're going to learn about it is that how you're going to be able to interact with other executives within the community. We've got a step-by-step process that you can do this. A lot of times, a lot of our new business owners have picked up their first clients just by attending some of the sample BNI meetings. And what's great about it is that every BNI organization or group that's within your community, and you may have 10 or 15 of them, depending upon where you live. I mean, I'm here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I know that probably wouldn't take too long if I went to, because every BNI meeting, you're allowed, I think, 2 visits before you had to join. And so what I would do, I'd go try to figure out how many BNI meetings I could go out there and meet with. And because you got to remember, they only let in a certain one person from each industry in that particular group. So if you go to a BNI meeting over in, let's say you're in Fort Worth. If you went to a BNI meeting in West Fort Worth and that had a group of 25 people in there, there's only going to be one real estate person in there, one person from banking. And what's great about it is in the healthcare industry, you might have somebody from a home health agency, but since you're doing medical billing, they're going to categorize that differently. So there's not going to be a lot of people that are in medical billing, so to say, that are attending a lot of these BNI meetings. So guess what you get to do? You get to kind of showcase, and they get that group of people hear what you do, and then they're going to share that information with you because they really want you to be a part of that group. But we've had folks that have never really joined and paid the dues to be part of the BNI, and they ended up getting their first clients right out of there. Lynn, I'm going to get to your question here in just a little bit. So I saw your question that popped up there. All right. So I love this thought process. Actually, I've got a good friend of mine who I do a lot of business networking with already. We went to lunch one day and he said this word. And he says, "You know what, Eric, I'm kind of getting rid of a few things and I'm only keeping a small group of folks in my orbit." And I looked at him. I remember asking him, I said, "Well, am I in your orbit?" He said, "Why are you at lunch with me today?" I said, "I guess I'm in your orbit." So that's why I say cultivate your orbit of influence. So think about people that you know that we used to call it your warm market. Okay. These would be people that you are already connected with. Okay. You just need to cultivate that. And we're going to show you how to do that through our strategic ways of learning how to network properly with each other and develop that orbit of influence. Number 2, then you're going to start to learn how to cultivate some relationship with others who already have existing doctor relationships. Now, again, that may be through a BNI, it may be through your personal orbit of people that you already know, but you're going to find out that you're going to find other people who are already doing business with doctors. They could be real estate agents, they could be insurance agents, there could be homeowners, builders, just a myriad of people that are already doing business with doctors. It doesn't always have to be a sales rep. But if a doctor is already dealing business with a sales rep and you know them and they're maybe already in your orbit, that's going to be your quickest way to them. And again, what are you going to utilize? You're probably going to say, "You know what, Sam or Lucy or whatever the name of the person that's already doing business with the doctor, tell them, hey, I want to get some information to a doctor. I've written the foreword to a book called the book that I shared with you, the New Thriving Medical Practice. Would you mind getting this into the doctor's hands?" Now, a personal relationship like that and someone going to a doctor that they already know saying, "Hey, I just met someone the other day," or "I already know somebody, I already know the owner of this business. They wrote the forward to this book. There's some highlighted areas of that book that they wanted to showcase to you. They just want to make sure that you got this as a gift from them. Listen, you'll be so shocked how easily it is to market to doctors. You'll be shocked. And then lastly, networking with other executives is to cultivate business relationships with others within your community. These are going to be people that, again, are this is where I love Chamber of Commerces. This is why Chamber of Commerces are going to be good, because you're going to deal with other people that are in the community. And a lot of people you're going to find out that are in the healthcare industry. These are going to be people who are your home health agencies, uh, your what most of you might already know of as like a nursing home. There are some other types of visiting doctors within those communities that are seeing other doctors, and they're trying to build their business. You might run into a chiropractor who knows somebody else. These are professional meetings that we're going to get you prepared for. And many times in those meetings, you're going to have an opportunity to either, number one, take 2 to 3 minutes and to share a little bit about, so everybody gets an opportunity to kind of showcase their business. But if you start building some relationships and you get invited to speak at a luncheon, that's even better, because then you can really share a lot of what you're able to do. And again, what are you trying to do? I think this is where a lot of new entrepreneurs fail, because they're afraid that someone's going to tell them no, or they say that they are not a salesperson. I want you to kind of wipe that all out of your mind. This is not about sales. This is strictly about getting other people knowing that you're in the business. And a lot of people that start a business, whether it's in a business opportunity or a franchise, they never let anybody really, really know that they're in business, especially people outside of their orbit. That's what I'm saying. Most people, again, stop at this one. They go, well, I'm just going to try to get to know people that I already kind of know. And, I'm going to stay within that area. And if it doesn't work, or if they don't know somebody, I stop. This is where parts 2 and 3 come really important, because now you're going to go outside that orbit into some other areas, because what you're trying to do is create newer orbits within inside of your own orbit. Okay. So networking with other executives is where it's all at. Now, lastly, we've got specific, you can see under here where it says educational events. We already have built in to your services and some of the things that you can give out. We already have downloadable PowerPoint presentations. We can show you how to utilize those. We've got anything and everything that you're going to need to have out there and download it. Okay. Lastly, here in AB here this year, we've started a new program that is similar to LinkedIn, Facebook, but this is a little bit more, and we've actually gotten to know these folks a little bit better, and some of our business owners already who may have been struggling on some of the things that I've already shared with you, found out that they were sort of picking up clients through this, and then we get clients not even in their own area. Again, it's amazing, and we've actually got it recorded. It's not there for you to be able to see it, because this was one of those things when we do webinars for our business owners, and we were able to share with them how they utilize this in a process of it. I'm just trying to share a little showcase with you. For those that want to do things a little more differently and do it more on the social media side, we actually have a lead magnet platform that can help you with that. Now, the one that's going to be able to help you with this is the person that actually leads our support team, so once you get through training here at American Business Systems, that training is about 10 modules long. So once you get through with that, then you get passed over into support. Now, Tim Warren is head of support, and he actually investigated this, pulled it together. He's actually written an ebook on lead magnet performance, and seeing some wonderful, wonderful opportunities of some of our brand new business owners actually get brand new clients. And so you can see here, you can attend as many smart connections as you want to, and we're going to show you how to do that. We actually have a webinar showing you how to leverage your business obviously, in this digital world. And then we've got a step-by-step process. You can see here, and this is actually on what's called our licensee support site that gives you a step-by-step guide to create a lead magnet, landing page, and follow-up process all in one, okay? Folks, this is so detailed and it is so easy to do that in combination with all the other activities that I shared with you, by putting in, as Patrick used to say, put as many hooks in the water as possible, because eventually you're going to get a nibble on one of them and you'll be able to reel one of those in. Okay. But everything I shared with you today is a very strategic, more executive style of marketing than just going out there and handing out flyers and knocking on doors and pleading with a doctor to say, hey, would you use my service? We certainly got that taken care of. And again, if once you get a part of it, you get access to the webinar yourself. There are already people here utilizing that and getting that going. All right. So as we kind of get wrapped up here, there is at least one question that's come in. If anybody else has any questions, I'd be happy to kind of take some of those. But before we do any questions, let me share with you, you can leverage American Business Systems 30 years of experience. That's what you're being a part of here at ABS. So jump on board with us here. We'd be more than happy to help you and help you lead yourself into that. Now, one of the things that you can do right now, if you haven't already done this, why don't you go to our website? Our website is absystems.com. You'll find there on the landing page there, up at the top right-hand corner, you'll see where it says download our 5 secrets to success. In there, you'll actually see some white papers of some of our business owners of how they got their first client. You're going to want to get that, download that. I think you may have to put in your first name, last name, email address. Don't worry, you're not going to get somebody else chasing you down. We work all that on the back end, but you're going to get immediate access on these 5 different techniques of how to get your billing system going up successfully.